Fox Business host Lou Dobbs wants Romney and McConnell impeached as support for the upcoming Senate trial collapses. In this video, we're going to take a look at the increasing outrage against the D.C. establishment's attempt to impeach a private citizen, why more and more Republican senators want nothing to do with it, and how establishment RINOs up for re-election are already getting primaried all across the country. You are not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Wonderful to be with you. As always, we're here to give you conservative hope in the midst of turbulent times by helping you to think better so you can feel better. So if you haven't already done so, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Also, please check us out on our brand new Rumble channel by clicking on that link below. And for you podcast fans, we are now one of the top 20 podcasts in the nation for political commentary. And with your support, we are fast going to make it to #1. So make sure to click on the link below and sign up for our various podcast platforms as well. And before we begin, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video. Let's keep our lights on here, and that's BioTrust and their awesome immune system supporting product, Ageless Body. With our rapid advances in science over the years, there really are much more powerful and effective ways to boost your immune system than just taking mega doses of vitamin C. In fact, our sponsors over at BioTrust have combined 4 of the world's best immune supporting powerhouses along with that mega dose of vitamin C into their #1 immunity support product, Ageless Body. Simply put, Ageless Body provides you 5 of the most powerful immune support ingredients available, including their #1 immunity support recommendation, turmeric, which has a 46 times better absorption than most other forms. And best of all, if you click on that link below today, you can get Ageless Body at their lowest price ever, 51% off with free US shipping to boot. So don't wait, click on that link below or go to agewithsteveturley.com. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Lou Dobbs of Fox News, he has been on fire of late. He's a huge supporter of Trump and has become a major critic of the Mittens Romney, Mitch McConnell wing of the Republican Party. Literally hours ago, Dobbs tweeted out, "Outrageous. Senators McConnell, Romney, and Marshall should be impeached for violation of the Constitution by joining in an unlawful act against a private citizen. House Democrats present Trump impeachment charge to the Senate, allowing trial to begin." Now, not to nitpick, there is a bit of a dispute as whether a senator could be impeached as opposed to simply expelled. Regardless if anyone wants to nitpick, obviously the sentiment is the same. I think Lou Dobbs speaks on behalf of all of us, at the very least 85% of Republican voters who would rather see McConnell and Romney impeached over their blatant defection from Republican values and concerns and their full and open embracing of the values and concerns of the swamp, the establishment, the permanent political class. I like very much how the Primaried report puts it, quote, "If McConnell and Romney cared at all about their voters, they would have fought this impeachment sham from the beginning. It doesn't matter whether or not McConnell and Romney vote yes or no on impeachment. Just allowing this to happen and saying it should is enough to show they simply don't care." He's so right there. It's no longer a matter of how McConnell and Romney vote. That's what the left-wing activists disguised as journalists over at the New York Times care about. That's all they go, how are they going to vote? Are they going to vote yes? Are they going to vote no? That's what CNN, that's what the now defunct Fox News cares about. That's not what the MAGA crowd cares about. Again, what made Trump so popular, more popular than any previous Republican president as far as the party is concerned, is that he was willing to fight for the values and the concerns and the interests of the people, of the populace, as over against the values and interests and concerns of the permanent political class. Romney and McConnell are demonstrating for all to see that they have newly baptized the Republican Party, well, as far as they're concerned. They have newly baptized the Republican Party as a special interest group for the establishment swamp. They are dedicated to doing the bidding of CNN and the New York Times and Goldman Sachs and the CCP. They care nothing. They don't care anything about the working class men and women of our nation who themselves want nothing to do with this impeachment circus. Now, the good news is that it appears that more and more Republican senators are siding with Lou Dobbs rather than the Mitch and Mittens show, okay? The AP is reporting that the chances of Trump getting convicted in the Senate are dimming by the day as more and more Republican senators are signaling that they want nothing to do with this sham kangaroo court. Remember, in an impeachment trial, the senators serve as jurors. And as the AP is reporting, more and more of those jurors are actually rallying to Trump's legal defense, as they did during his first impeachment trial last year, which was an utter fiasco. Florida Senator Marco Rubio is coming out and saying that this whole thing is absolutely stupid. That's the word he's been using. The trial is stupid. And Lindsey Graham is making it clear he wants nothing to do with the Senate trial either. In other words, these guys are signaling that if you go ahead with this trial, which is increasingly looks like it's going to be the case, Chucky Schumer and the like, if you're going to go ahead with this trial, Chucky, you can count on me voting to acquit. I'm going to sleep through the evidence you put in front of me. I'm not even going to consider it. This trial, as far as I'm concerned, is over before it begins. Now, these GOP senators are being bolstered by more and more voices coming out and questioning the entire constitutionality of whether Congress can even vote to impeach a private citizen. Perhaps the most vocal critic of the constitutionality of this process is Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, who told Newsmax TV that in his assessment, a lawless Congress is going to hold an unconstitutional Senate impeachment trial, and that the end result is virtually written in stone. One way or another, President Trump is going to be acquitted from all of this. And that's not even because there's not enough GOP senators who are going to vote to convict. That's the case, of course. But in the end, the Senate simply has no jurisdiction to even hold this trial. Dershowitz, who, keep in mind, is a self-admitted liberal, he's a leftist, but he's at least an honest one. He said that what's happening in Congress right now as we speak is exactly the nightmare that our founding fathers, particularly Alexander Hamilton, feared. This is nothing less than the weaponizing of impeachment, especially by Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats in the House. They held a snap impeachment, which did not afford President Trump the opportunity to respond prior to the vote, which all previous impeachments historically have always afforded to the accused. It was the definition of a kangaroo court. They hastily passed a snap impeachment, and now the Senate is only adding to that ridiculous unconstitutionality by trying a private citizen retroactively. This is precisely what my namesake, Jonathan Turley, is so concerned about. Turley, who, again, keep in mind, is a political liberal. He's arguing that the precedent that's being set here with Chucky Schumer's Senate is that from now on, a new Congress can come in, they can come into power and decide that it's going to disqualify opponents from public office despite the fact that they're private citizens. When the Republicans take over next, they can go ahead and for any reason they want, they can impeach Barack Obama. Or they can retry Bill Clinton. And boy, would they have plenty of evidence there. It's the epitome of constitutional absurdity to pursue the impeachment of a private citizen. It's beyond absurd, and only the mentality of a rabid leftist can even entertain the plausibility of such an idea. And if Republican senators go the way of the Mitch and Mitten show, the way McConnell or Romney, this will definitely be the last Republican Senate class to serve in D.C. The party will implode. Deservedly so. Any party that spews the kind of absurd rhetoric that Romney is currently spewing, claiming that he's upholding the Constitution while defecating on it, any party that spews that kind of rhetoric ought to collapse. The good news is that it looks like virtually every RINO is already getting primaried. Now, before we get into that, I'm so excited to announce that we have a brand new alt-tech anti-censorship guide coming out. And if you click on that link below today, you can actually help us name it. It's a guide that's going to give you all the alternative social media sites that you can go to that have all your favorite independent content creators, but without any of the censorship that we're being exposed to by big tech. It's absolutely free as an ebook download. And if you click on that link below today, you'll be the first to know as soon as the ebook is released. And again, you can even help us name it. So don't wait. Click on the link below and be the first to know about the release of our free alt-tech anti-censorship guide today. All right, gang, Jack Posobiec over at One American News, he's reporting that primary challenges to all the RINOs up for re-election are already in place. The list is growing to purge the Republican Party of these establishment embarrassments who have more in common with CNN and Nancy Pelosi than they do with Donald Trump. Now, we've been reporting on this, on what's nothing short of a massive uprising among the grassroots against establishment Republicans. 3 of the 10 Republicans who voted to impeach our president are already getting primaried, most especially the RINO neocon Liz Cheney. She'll be gone. Republican leaders in Nelson County, Kentucky, voted unanimously to formally censure Republican Senate Leader Mitch McConnell after his speech on the Senate floor blaming Trump for the Capitol Hill riots. The Allegan County Republican Convention, Michigan, voted overwhelmingly to censure and condemn Representative Fred Upton for his vote to impeach President Trump. In Oklahoma, a number of counties voted to censure Oklahoma Senators Inhofe and Langford, and those counties are in turn demanding their immediate resignations for their abject failure in supporting President Trump and the will of their constituents. And perhaps most boldly, the Arizona Republican Party has officially censored their governor, Doug Ducey, along with former neocon never-Trumper Senator Jeff Flake, and even Cindy McCain, the widow of the late Senator John McCain, for their disparaging remarks made against President Trump. So Lou Dobbs' call to impeach McConnell and Romney appears to be resonating. The MAGA crowd is fighting back, making it clear that in the end, it's not Trump who's on trial. It is the Republican Party itself. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. You definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how murder rates are surging across the nation as Democrat-controlled cities have begun to utterly implode. You're not going to want to miss it, so make sure to click on the link, and I will see you over there. God bless.